can't tame us. Don't give them a reason to take us. Time is now, no time to wait up. Keep it raw, uncut, sit down.
Hey, welcome everybody. Welcome to the podcast that creates uncut conversations for the culture. Welcome to the Rel Raw and Uncut podcast. I'm your host, Rel. Make sure you guys go like, smash, subscribe to the YouTube channel 2920 TV. Make sure you guys follow, do all the good stuff. So today I'm joined by my guest, mortgage loan officer, Tonnie G. How you doing today?
I'm good, brother. I'm good. Just hanging in there.
That's good. That's what's up. So let everybody know where you're from and how did you get into home? How did you get into
home finance?
Home finance. There you go. Okay, that's all right. There you go. How did you get into home finance?
So, my name is Tony. I'm originally from the Bronx, New York.
Okay, good place. Okay, what's the project?
168, 169 Webster.
I'm 170 Webster.
Shut up.
Yep.
You basicly my cousin.
Yeah, facts. There you go. See, already off the bat.
It's a family reunion too.
Oh man, perfect.
So I was born and raised my childhood in Webster, and then I spent a lot of time at Roberto Clemente. You already know Real Park Towers.
Mm-hmm.
I spent a lot of time there. So from the Bronx originally. I've been in banking now since I was 19. I'm 35. I'm gonna be 36. Had various roles. And as I was going through from, starting out as a teller as a kid and going up to going to the banker level and seeing those commissions, I'm like, man, there's good money here. You kind of get to a crossroads in your banking career. If you're going to go the sales route where you're going to make money from your effort in sales, or if you're going to stay on that retail side and work in the branches like a manager and things like that. I knew for myself, I don't want to be a manager. And I want to be paid for my effort. And I was about 28 years old when I saw a loan officer come into a credit union that I used to work for. And I'm like, man, what's that guy doing? So yeah, I think his name is Doug. Yeah, that's Doug. He's a mortgage officer. Oh, well, he's in and out. Why is he free to? Oh no, he's licensed. He can do whatever he wants. Like what? So I set him aside. I'm like, hey man, what do you do? Oh, I help people get financing for homes. How much they pay you? Because that's really what you mean. We ask, what do you do? Let's keep it a buck.
Mm-hmm.
How much they pay you? So, well, I get, let's just say I get 1% for every loan I close. I'm like, what you mean? And he kind of laid it out. I'm like, oh, that's the route I want to go. I want to go that route. So then after that, I just got the education I needed, take the licensing I needed, and I became a loan officer.
Okay, so what is the process like? Where do you start? So what high school did you go to? How did you go from high school to college? Was it college?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so and then how did you go from college, and what was the point where you're just like, this is pretty much my life? Yeah, yep, exactly.
Sure. So man, I this is good. This is deep. So I'm gonna give you the sauce. So I went to the Bronx School for Law, Government, Justice in high school.
Mm-hmm.
So right next to the precinct on 161.
Okay.
And I went through high school, nothing crazy, and then I went to college, SUNY Delhi, State University of New York. Telling you now, the only thing I got from my college experience was my wife. I met my wife at 18. We still together now.
God
with 4 kids.
God bless.
So when I was in college, I was responsible for my own student loans. So I was already paying my student loans. Whenever I wasn't in school, I was paying my loans. I'm like, man, remind you, this is around 2008, 2009, 2010, that financial crisis time, right? So it's one, jobs are hard to come by. I'm like, man, I need to do something because I can't. I'm going to school, but I need bread. And I'm trying to move. I had a home situation I was ready to go away from. And I felt like, hey, I'm an adult now. I got to figure it out. So at 19, going into turning 20, I said, I'm going to join a bank. Can I say the name of the bank? I mean, it shouldn't be an issue.
You can say whatever you want, man.
All right. Well, okay. So I used to work with Capital One Bank on 72nd Street back in 2010, 2011. That was my first banking job. And that kind of gave me that taste of, oh, you can make money in finance, and that I had a I had a talent with talking to people. And from that, it kind of built, right? So I want to say from that experience at Capital One, eventually in 2013, my wife and I would decide to move to Pennsylvania. We got married. Then we got married in Pennsylvania, decided to start a life down here. That's where I am now.
Mm-hmm.
And it's been holding various positions in the banking field. I would say the thing that prepared me to become a loan officer was being exposed to the entire financial industry. Because where some people go to college for 4, 5, 6 years, my experience was in the workforce because I needed that money. Like, I needed to get the money because, in my opinion, I didn't believe that the business administration degree I was going for wasn't going to be equal to actually having hands-on banking experience. And that hands-on banking experience has got me up to this level where mortgage loan originator, mortgage banker, doing very well.
Okay. So what is the process? Like, what's the step-by-step process?
Okay. So if someone wanted to become a mortgage loan originator, the biggest things depends on what state you're in. You have to take there's like I think a mandated, I think it's 20 hours of education, and then you take the SAFE exam. This exam is about, I think it's 125 questions, 5 of which don't count towards your score.
Really?
And then it's a part of it's a part.
So it's the reason of the 5 questions for.
In
your opinion, I want look. I'm going to ask you questions. I want you to be as honest as possible.
When you get higher up in the financial industry, in my opinion, from my experience, a lot of it is just to see who is willing to get through it, and not so much who's the best or the worst. Though those 5 questions, like they say in the state exam, is to just they're trying different questions to see if people can answer them or not. So basically, 120 questions, you have to get most of them right. You have to end with over a 70% score to pass. And it's a 4-hour exam. I did mine online. So when you do it, you go through the NMLS, which is like the National Mortgage Registry, where all financial people, all of them, you go to your bank now and you ask the branch manager for their business card, you're going to see an NMLS number there. It allows us to sell loan and, in particular for me, mortgage products. Once you have your education, you sign up for your test, you take the test. If you pass, then you have the green light to continue to move forward and then apply for a license. And you're paying for all this all along the way. The prices change, so don't ask me how much it costs, but it costs. If you're in the banking industry already, though, and you've reached the level of being on the platform, like being a banker, where you're like basically customer service, you're opening accounts and doing regular loans, you already have an NMLS number, and there's a hack. You could get your license, and it won't cost you anything because you already have the NMLS. Now your employer might say something about it, but do with that what you will.
Okay. So what is the process like for a family to come to you and tell you that they want to get a home?
Well,
what is better yet? I'll ask you a better question. What are the top 3 things you look for when someone asks you or comes to you and tells you they want to buy a home?
The 3 things that matter most, I would say, is credit, your deposits, and if the family or individual is actually willing to do the work, right? So I'll start with that last point first. I have many people come to me, different backgrounds, different colors, our people, on and on. And when you start really pushing, say, hey, you need to open up about your finances to me in order for me to help you, you will get most of your resistance, right? And I think that part of my passion behind being in the banking industry and then doing mortgages is to kind of make it more accessible to everyone. I will say, in my experience working with different people in different environments, that a lot of information that's useful to people who may be a first generation home buyer, a lot of that information isn't shared, even if it's education. So I have a philosophy where either it's yes, we can get you a house, or hey, these are the steps we need to take to get you there. And I'm willing to educate any borrower. It doesn't matter if you don't have any money and we can't do a house with you or do a loan at this time. I'm going to guide you, because most of my experience has been, and what kind of drives me as far as from the heart side of being in banking, is that we have a community of not only minorities, but I think everyone, working class people who are underserved as far as being guided into the right steps to take. Our business is commission based mostly, right? So like if I don't kill something, if I don't close a loan, I do not get any money from that. I don't eat. And for a lot of loan officers, it's a waste of time to educate the borrower. It's a waste of time to educate the prospect. But I kind of feel like that education portion is, one, a part of the deeper relationship building, and then two, a part of how you actually help the next generation of home buyers or people who are interested in buying home, because you're equipping them versus them being completely afraid, or they get taken advantage of by a big mortgage group or mortgage company that's just forced them through the transaction, right? Like I tell my borrowers, we're here to work for you, but allow us to truly work for you, because we have to teach. So I say that the biggest thing is, are you ready to learn? And are you ready to really dig into your finances? Because that can reveal a lot. I've had couples get into arguments when we start going through bank statements. And I say, what's this deposit here? What's this transfer? And I'm asking because I need to know, because I have to explain it to my underwriters. Then the miss is like, hey, what is that? And then he's like, and then it devolves into something. So I would say be ready to really look at your finances and be comfortable with, exposure is the wrong word. I would say be comfortable with being challenged, and be comfortable with putting a plan together. And then there's assets. You know, a lot of people will say, well, FHA loans, for example, they're 3.5% down. I can afford that. You can. I'm sure you can put 3.5% down. Can you afford the closing costs? Right? Every loan has what we could call closing costs. These are costs that come together from fees from the banker or mortgage company or credit union, whatever industry you're in, and the taxes, transfer taxes. So if I buy a house from you, you're going to pay half of those taxes to transfer it over, and I'm going to pay half too to Uncle Sam.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That is wild.
But listen, being in the business, 5 years I've been doing this, and I really do question, why do we pay so much in taxes on everything? Doesn't make sense, but we can get into that later. But what happens is you'll find families say, I have the money to put the money down. And then you say, well, we need $28,000 now for closing. That includes your down payment. Like, wait, what? I have the down payment. Yeah, you have the down payment, but there's closing costs. So be ready. Well, do you have assets set aside? Do you have a 401k? Do you have, are you going to get a gift? Some of us do, most of us don't. Are you going to get a gift from family to help you buy a house?
Explain that. I'm sorry. Can you explain that?
Yeah, a gift. So on most mortgage scenarios, you are allowed to get gift money. Gift money means, and I'm gonna tell you how I freak it a lot with my clients. Gift money means this is money that is going to be given to you for the purposes of buying a home. Most institutions are going to generate a letter for you to have signed by the gift giver stating that it's not a loan, it is a gift, and you will not come and collect. Cannot be a loan. Now, what I have seen, not saying I've ever done this, but what I have seen in my experience is, if it is a loan between you and family, you keep that between you and family. That's between you guys. We don't need to know. I've seen it. But as long as we have that gift letter, you can receive gifts from your family or friends or close relatives to help you with purchasing your home.
Okay. So you said something earlier, and I'm glad you said it because I don't think a lot of people realize putting the difference between putting your deposit and then thinking, okay, well, I have this deposit for the house, and
Mm-hmm.
now you pretty much have the house, but now you have to pay this closing costs.
Mm-hmm.
Is that something that's explained in the beginning to someone who doesn't know, or okay,
Brother.
so you get what I'm saying, right? Like for example,
Oh
like
yeah.
if I give you, let's just say 3.5%, I give you, let's just say 20,000, right?
Mm-hmm.
And okay, now I'm like, okay, we have the money to pay for this, and then now you get to the last stage, and now here comes closing costs. And you're like, wait, hold up, but this is not the same. So why is that not explained to people at the beginning? Well, most people,
So
or why do not most people know about this already?
I'm gonna give you my answer,
Mm-hmm.
right? Because I'm not gonna say I'm radical when it comes to this stuff, but I don't want anyone to get into a interaction with me business wise and be surprised. Most people, when they get a pre-approval, they just get the pre-approval letter,
Mm-hmm.
because from a sales standpoint, tactically, you're pre-approved, you're ready to go for it, go get that house. They're so high on and happy that they've been pre-approved, they don't stop to ask, well, I'm pre-approved, that means I can afford it. That's what they think in their head. The
Mm-hmm.
truth is, there's a pre-approval and the cost estimate. Always, if your mortgage officer doesn't give it to you, ask for, can I get the cost estimate on this? Those fees are drafted out or in estimate form in the very beginning. They have them. Now you say, well, why don't people know about it? It's both sides. Sometimes the lender's trying to compete and win the business without having to worry about getting a counter offer from competition, right? Because you get that cost estimate, you take it to a guy like Tony, you're like, hey, Tony, I got this cost estimate from Nowhere Bank. I'm like, okay, well, let me see if I could beat them. And I do beat them. They have a chance of losing business,
Mm-hmm.
right? So it's probably there on those emails, but probably not the focus of the email. They want you to focus on the pre-approval.
Mm-hmm.
And then from the buyer standpoint, you're pre-approved. You're excited. The fact that you probably did something that for you is scary. You're not sure if, am I going to get approved or not? What does this mean about me? Because I think sometimes we take our financial condition as a reflection of who we are.
Mm-hmm.
So that pre-approval is like validation that, yeah, you're doing good. So to stop and say, I'm going to look at a cost estimate, you may not want to because you're on the high of I'm pre-approved. I do think that it should be the job, and it is the job of the loan officer, to make sure you stop your client. And after they're pre-approved, let's go over the cost estimate together so you understand what we estimate your cost may be, and are you able and willing to move forward with that. So I think there's multiple factors, but a lot of it has to do with, hey, on the banker side, we want to kind of sell the product, and it's really up to whoever is your loan officer if they're going to educate you on that on purpose, like they're going to go ahead and do it, and then the seller, and then the buyer, you're pre-approved. Some people get so high on that pre-approval, man, they just go for it. I've had plenty of deals where I'm like, hey, can we stop and look at the cost estimate? No, we're good. So no. I'm going to tell you, yes, you're putting 10%, $10,000 down. Estimate closing based on taxes in the area you're looking to buy and things like that. At this point, we estimate that your closing costs are going to be $25,000. Whether they have the money or not, I need to know that that's your cost. So the information's always there. Is it readily pushed in front of you so you have to deal with it? Sometimes, depending on the situation.
So that kind of, maybe you can tell me if this compares the same, but
Sure.
this almost sounds like going to a car dealership and them telling you, okay, yeah, this is the car. Like you pick out the car you want, and then they let you test drive it.
Mm-hmm.
Once you test drive the car, it's almost like
you already
want this. Yeah, you want this. This is. There's no other thing you want, and but then you forget. Then now you have to go in. You have to go do the credit check. Now you have to go do the banks to see if you can get approved. Then after you get approved, you still got to pay license and taxes fees,
Mhm.
and it's like I feel
Why
like it's
isn't that
almost
something you used to tell me before I
right.
started loving the car?
This is why if I go to the dealership, I do not even test drive it.
You're
I'll be honest
smart.
with you, I don't even want to test drive it.
You're smart. So you're right. So like outside of the mortgage industry, this is an overall sales tactic.
Mm-hmm.
I'm connecting you to the end result, which is not bad. It is a good thing. I want to connect you to the end result. That you're gonna be able to be, and I'm gonna give a couple. The first to buy a house in your family. You're gonna buy yourself a bigger home. Your wife's gonna be so like. I want to connect you to that. That's part of the job. But then there's a responsibility.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone handles that responsibility different. From one side of the coin, if I connect you to the idea of buying a home or buying a car or whatever it is, if I connect you to that, and I'm already allowing that idea to get intimately in your imagination where you're associating with it, it's no longer foreign.
Mm-hmm.
I'm associating my positive feelings about myself with this result. So now I really don't matter as a salesperson. I did my job. I got you positively associating with the end result as if it's you. So then if I decide to go this route, I get you to the deal table and say, hey, by the way, you're going to get the house. You're going to get this. By the way, closing cost is like $25,000. And then you're going to get this and this and this. Because it's associated with you, you'll see this in the dealerships a lot. You're going to be quick to try to make that work because now it's you. If it doesn't work, something's wrong with you. If you don't get through the transaction, something's up with you. You didn't do enough. This is like deeper level sales stuff that's happening, right? So same with the home, you're pre-approved. Maybe you see the closing costs, but you don't really understand it. You don't question it because you might be afraid. A question might mean, oh, yeah, you can't afford it, by the way. Never mind. We'll take all that back. And now you have a deficit here because you've already in your mind have attached yourself to an end result. But it's not malicious. But I do think, and in my sales strategy, I try to educate first. I tell all my clients, whether you decide to go with me or not, you will always refer business to me because my goal is to make sure you know what you're doing, to have a full scope. Because when you say yes with me, I'm going to get your loan closed, and I'm going to tell you where you are and where you're not, right? And it's not a. It might make some other lenders look good because some lenders will lie to you. They'll just not lie baldly, but oh yeah, you're good to go. And then as you get to the middle, I don't know if you own your own home or not, but as you get to middle of closing, they're like, oh, by the way, you're missing this, this, and this, and you need to get me 25 grand in your account somehow.
And that's already discouraging.
It's crushing you. And now because you're intimately involved and you're already in that process, if you don't get that money, you didn't try hard enough. You don't care. See? What's worse about that is you're likely to take a bad deal if you don't have all the information up front. That's why I advocate for loan officers to bring all the information up front and for clients to demand information. Just because someone wears a suit and they have the name of a mortgage banker or whatever, or financial advisor or insurance agent or real estate agent doesn't mean they're better than you. We serve the client. We serve the client. And if we're not giving the client all the information they need to make a decision they want to make, we're failing them. Period. We're failing them.
Exactly. So what gives you the passion to get up and do this every day?
Oh man. Besides the money?
I mean, besides the money.
Besides getting paid, I got 4 kids, man. No, I enjoy. So like a sign of mastery is if you can teach it simply, right? I enjoy taking people from, I want to buy a house, but I'm intimidated by it. It's scary. It's a big thing. I enjoy showing people, actually, the loan officer does all that. Your realtor's supposed to do this and this. We're serving you. Let me guide you and educate you. I enjoy seeing the relief on people's faces when they realize banks work for me. Mortgage companies want my business. Realtors want my, like, the power is truly with the people. I enjoy empowering people to not only advocate for themselves, but get the end result they're looking for, fully aware of what not only the costs are, but the responsibility on their hands. Because then you have better homeowners at the end of that transaction. You have better relationships at the end of those transactions, right? I love that, because I feel like there have been many times when I was younger in my banking career where I had people come to me and say, can I have more than one bank account with more than one bank? I'm like, what do you mean, can you? A bank account's a product. Yeah, you got more than one. But many people were under the understanding that you couldn't have more than one. You don't have an understanding of credit or your value as a consumer. Consumers, we consumers, especially in America, have value. I like to say America is the heart of the entire world. If we stop working, if we stop paying taxes, the world will fall apart. It will. It really, I'm not going to go into that because that's way too deep. But if you ever got some time, go on YouTube, just look at where our tax dollars really go around the world. It's leverage. It's governmental leverage around all these international relationships are leveraged by the fact that America keeps working and keeps buying. Like a heart, we keep pumping. But if we stop, bad business for everyone.
Okay, so I have a real question, right? It's like, this is the podcast with uncut conversations, right? So I have to ask, in all your experiences as being a home loan officer, have you, or I'm almost sure you have, but I want to hear from your personal experience. Has there been a difference between selling homes to people of our color and to people of white?
Yeah. Okay. Saucy.
Yeah. Get in depth. I already see this in your mind.
Yeah. So with my peoples, right? One thing I say about Black folk, when we talk to each other on the phone, if we don't see each other, you're talking to a Black person. Every time. What I found is that, for me anyway, I'm able to actually speak to concerns that they're probably not going to voice.
Okay.
Right? Bringing up credit immediately. Bringing up these fees and things like that immediately, so it's not a surprise. Unfortunately, home ownership, though I'm pretty sure we're doing very well, I found a lot of people who are looking to buy, it's always the first time. And the information they have in buying a home is based on things they've heard only. Right? So there isn't a consistent generational home buying experience I've seen when dealing with our people. But that's part of like my heart behind it too. I love helping our people. I love helping everyone, but in particular our people, because it's so. Now I'm not gonna say it's so new, because there are tons of Black homeowners. But when I do interact with someone who looks like me and is buying a home for the first time, and they have that intimidation or fear, because buying a home is a success. It is. Buying a home is a success, and I want that for more people, in particular my people. So a lot of times for the first time buyers, it is a first time thing. And then there are times where you meet people who look like you, and they're very suspicious of how you do business, and you know how that is.
Of course.
Like, oh, are you real, like, is his brother really going to try to help me, or is he a wolf?
Or is he just like everybody else, and he's just gonna?
Yeah, exactly. So you have a lot of that shell and that defense, and what I find, because I understand that, I'm able to be patient
Mm-hmm.
I'm never trying to force anyone through any transaction or any situation, but I understand that there's a lot of guards up, right? Like I had a gentleman who wanted to buy a condo, and I'm very forthcoming with information. He started out strong, but as I kept giving him details of the responsibility and the costs, he kind of dwindled away. Now, some loan officers are gonna chase after him and say, "Hey, man, what's going on? Where are you with this?" I realized, like, hey, listen, you let me know when you're ready to talk about this more.
Mm-hmm.
Right? I'm not gonna force you down the road because he might feel, oh, this guy's trying to get me to say yes already. I'm not ready for that, even though I came asking, help me buy a house.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So what I say is with our people is, I'm sensitive because I understand redlining was a thing. Our people didn't get access to the GI Bill. We didn't get access to a lot of the generational wealth building programs to buy a home back in the days. So when it comes to banking in general, especially coming up from Webster Project, so you're not like, oh, the bank is my friend. It's like, I don't understand what's going on there. Is someone going to be honest with me or give me real information that I can use to actually get to an end result? You're not sure if you are. So it's a lot of trust building and relationship building before you do anything. What I found with, let's say white people buying a home, they already have a lot of information most of the time. And even if they're a first-time buyer, they're like a parent away from being connected to someone who bought a house before.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So it's familiar. So when you bring up fees and say, hey, I know you put 10% down, your closing costs are looking like, it's going to be X and Y number. They're like, oh, okay. It's not like, what is that? It's like, oh, okay. Yeah, that makes sense. You show them transfer tax. So there's more of a history of buying homes, owning land. There's a history of it. So it's an easier conversation. And then also, unfortunately, I've dealt with some situations where they talk to me on the phone to see Tonnie Gore. Oh man, this guy's cool. And then we do a video chat or meet in person, like, oh, hello.
Really?
Meet the parents, right? Like, look who's coming home for dinner, right? I've had some of that, and it is what it is, man. I don't care. It's their loss. So it's definitely a mix in experience, but more consistently, you see that a white family or a white person who's buying a home isn't that far removed from someone who owns a home. They're close, right? They either have a dad or mom or someone that they can reference in their close relationships and say, hey, what was this process like for you? And that makes a slight difference. But in my opinion, in my philosophy, everything about the home buying experience can be point guarded by the loan officer, right? I try to dictate those terms up front and make it the same for everyone. I tell them, I'm going to educate you, I'm going to guide you and support you to reach the goal you have. I will get paid as a byproduct of doing a great job with you. I don't see it as I'm doing a job with you so I can get paid from you. No, I'm gonna get paid as a byproduct of helping you get to your home. And that's how I approach it. That's how I approach things.
Okay. So now let's go all the way back in time now.
Okay, time machine.
That's right. First time you ever sold the first home you ever sold. What was that feeling
mortgage,
like?
First mortgage.
I'm sorry. First mortgage you ever closed.
I'm not a real estate agent. I do not want that job.
There's a big difference, guys. Let me break that down. There's a big difference. But what was it like the first time you did that?
Bro, it was terrible.
Really?
Because I was scared. There's so many on the back end, right? On the part where the borrower doesn't see, there's so much work being done. So much. So on the first loan that I closed, brother, when you take the SAFE exam, that the national license exam to become a loan officer, that just educates you so you don't break the law. It does not cover the business at all. So my first year, basically as an apprentice, as a loan officer, When I closed my first loan, I had messages from the underwriter saying, "Hey, Tony, you're missing this. We need this and this." And I'm freaking out. I'm like, whoa, did I mess up? This whole thing is going to go nowhere. It's going to get audited, and they're going to take away my license because I did this wrong. I wound up finding out it's normal for things to be missing. They're like them asking you, "Hey, Tony, we need this, this, and this," is what they're supposed to do at different parts of the transaction. It was nerve-wracking because I wasn't prepared for the intensity of the business, right? Because as you're going through getting all the documents together, making sure everything's up to right and up to regulation, there's also a couple or a family saying, "Hey, Tony, we got everything moved at our old apartment and our lease is done.
So now the pressure's
and
on
we're
you.
ready to move." Yes, exactly. And we're ready to move. I'll tell you a story. I had a couple, lovely couple. I love these people. I still keep in contact with them. They're like grandparents to me. They were ambitious about buying a home. We had walked through the entire process. They had been shopping for a home. I let them know, "Hey, you're going to need this much money at closing." They told me, "Okay, Tony, that's great." I said, "Great. Do you know where you're going to get that money from?" "Oh, well, we should have something somewhere."
That don't sound good, though.
No, it doesn't. And every call, I kept reiterating, "You're gonna need this much. I know you're shocked. You can go ahead and look around with your real estate agent, but you do need to have this money before settlement." Here we are. They found their dream home. Happy as can be. Oh my gosh. Realtors calling me, "Hey, Tony, ready to put the offer in?" I said, "That's fantastic. They've been accepted. We need to know where the money is coming from." We go through the process because things were moving fast, right? Like their offer was accepted, and this was a really good realtor. Offers was accepted, things were going and going. Something happened where they spent some money, so they had a bit of a balance. Let's just say, because I don't want to go into the numbers, but let's just say they had enough where they could actually cover the closing costs, but that's it. Like after that, they didn't have anything else. So I don't like doing that to people. So something happened where they'd spent some money. And they called me like, "Tony, oh my gosh, I don't know what we're going to do." I'm like, "Hey, what's going on?" "We had to spend a couple $1,000s because I don't know what happened." I'm like, "Okay." And I told them they were older couple, both retired. And I said, "Do you guys have any 401ks from the past?" "No, Tony, we don't have." I told you. You're snapping at me after me helping them because they're upset. I'm like, "No, Tony, I told you already." I'm like, "Listen, just trust me. I had to be delicate with this. You guys been in the workforce for a very long time. There has to be money somewhere that you're just not thinking about." Mind you, at this point, closing was 2 weeks out. 2 weeks away from closing, everything should be done. These people are sweating about money. I had them go through all your old jobs, reach out, ask if there are any 401ks. This is a loan I need to close. So let's just say the home was valued at $340,000. I would get around, I want to say, $3,500 for this one house. Mind you, I'm working on many houses at the same time. So let's say you're closing 3 houses worth the same amount. It's just 3 loans. Also, another thing being a loan officer, there's a lot of free time. I work from home. My kids are homeschooled. I am free. I go on vacation to work. I don't have PTO. I don't need it. I just do my own thing. So that's like one of the biggest perks of being an LO, loan officer. So these people they find 40 grand.
Oh, wow.
In a 401k that they forgot about. It was this close to being collected by the state because they hadn't done anything with it.
Wow. It's a good, wow.
Dude. When that loan closed, I stayed away from the desk for about 3 or 4 days because my anxiety was so high. Because I'm like, these guys, they don't have a place to live. They got rid of everything. They're trying to move into a new home. And there's no money. They down 40 grand. After that, I was like, okay, I'm good for a bit. So that was very nerve-wracking because To anyone who wants to become a loan officer, it's not over until it's over. And even then, it could still not be over. I had a former customer, text me today saying, "Hey, what's going on with my payment?" He's a veteran.
Mm-hmm.
He has full VA disability benefits, meaning he's going to get the VA home benefit, but also he doesn't have to pay taxes on his property.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, I mean, it's great, but it comes at a cost. You have to be fully disabled by the VA.
Mm.
And there must have been an administrative accident or error by the mortgage company that has his loan now, because they reached out to him saying they're going to increase the taxes on his property further beyond what the projected taxes were before. He doesn't pay taxes, though. His payment basically went from $2,600 to $39. And he's like, "Tony, what's going on?" I'm like, "Someone made an accident. This is not right, because you have VA benefits. You're covered. Reach out to them Tuesday, because Monday's a holiday." So it's not over. The loan transaction is not over until it's over. And then even after that, if you're really good at being a mortgage officer, you're going to still be available to old clients, because eventually I'm going to try to get that guy to come back and do another deal with me, maybe a refinance, to get him away from whatever institution he's with now. So.
Okay, yeah, I'm glad you said that. I could ask this next question now.
Mm-hmm.
So once you get a house and you're paying a mortgage for every month, what does a refinance process look like?
So,
and when are you eligible for one?
As soon as you have, when you have equity, right? So,
okay,
let's say it like this: a home, $100,000 home. It's worth. Let's say the home is worth $100,000. That represents 100% of the home.
Mm-hmm.
When you go to buy a house, you're going to be required to put money down unless you use a special program. So let's just say a conventional mortgage, meaning a basic mortgage, no mortgage program, nothing special, and you put 20% down. That's going to be $20,000 on 100. Now, your purchase, your loan amount is going to be $80,000. You put 20% down, your loan amount is going to be $80,000. Now you have a home that's worth 100, but your loan is only 80. So technically, you would have access to 20% equity. This is a very bare bones example. This is not like if I'm looking at someone's personal property. Mm-hmm. So the way you have to see it as, if you own a home and the home's value is higher than the loan amount, you have equity where you could use that money for anything. So one thing that's happened lately, and one of the reasons why right now is, I wouldn't say it's difficult to buy a home, but it's expensive to buy a home, is that home values have shot up. To your viewers, if you ever want to do something for fun, go to Zillow and go to pick a property and go down to like the tax assessments, and you're going to see different prices from different years. Go as far back as you can and look how much it jumps. In particular, look how much it jumps during COVID. 50, 60, 80% jumps in home price. These jumps in home price for homeowners is great, because now if you want, you can refinance and get access to a line of equity, and you can do literally whatever you want with it. Once that refinance or line of credit goes through, it's your money to go nuts with. Of course, you got to pay back on it, but it's your money. So if you own a home, or if your home's value has increased, if it's enough, a lender is going to be able to allow you to have access to that equity. Of course, you're going to pay back on it, but yeah, as long as you have value in your home. So sometimes, let's just say if there's a home in the family that's passed down, like let's say you own a brownstone, like from back in the days, you owned it when it was like $1. It wasn't worth nothing, but you took care of it and kept it.
Oh, it's worth a lot now. Decent amount.
Millions. Yes. Millions now. You own, let's say you own one of those, but it's passed down in the family, so you never really, you're so far removed from the transaction, and there is no mortgage on it. You go to the bank, they're like, "Oh, we can give you 80% of that value, but the home is valued at $1 million." So if there's, that's why I say, for homeowners, check the value of your property. That's why property values matter. right? Different neighborhoods care about, and I'm not going to get into HOAs. I think they're evil, but that's why HOAs exist, to maintain and protect property values, because people want to be able to get return on their asset, and refinance, line of credit, definitely ways of doing that.
Now I'm putting you on the hot seat now because you said it. Why is HOAs evil?
My opinion?
Yes.
I don't want nobody telling me how to. I went through the loan process of buying a house and paying tens of thousands of dollars to get into a home. You're not going to tell me what I can and can't do on my own property. No way.
Mm-hmm.
I understand to try to protect property values, but property values are going to go up anyway. They're not building more ground. There's more land's not going to pop up out of nowhere. So owning a home, it is a store of value. It's not going to go down ever. So I don't like giving control over my life and my property to a third party. I think that's crazy. So that's why I don't like HOAs. You're not going to tell me, hey, Tony, you can't have Christmas lights, or you can't have your motorcycle here. No way. No. Leave me alone.
That's honestly, that's the most simplest way to break down like what an HOA is. Because I think a lot of people don't really know what that is to an extent. So yeah.
HOA is just HOA, like most things, starts out with good intentions. We want to protect property values. But then a lot of times it gets creepy. It seems like many times there are very few wrong people in power, and they make it bad for everyone. And consistently, there's so many HOA stories that are terrible. I wouldn't want to live in an HOA. If you decide to do so, that's fine. As long as you make sure you know your rights, you can protect yourself and your property, you should go for it. But for me, no way, not a fan.
So we're gonna close out in a few, but I want to say this was a very good conversation. It's very informative about this, and I appreciate you for coming on here and educating my viewers on the process of all of this. I'm gonna ask you like two questions.
Go ahead.
If you wasn't doing this, what would you think you would be doing?
If I wasn't doing mortgage banking, or man, give me the second question first. Let me think about that a little bit more. That's
okay. So the second question is what I usually close out on. So with the successes that you had in your career, you being the age that you are now, what would you tell your younger self?
Oh, don't listen to everybody. They don't know what the hell they're talking about. I was told when I moved to Pennsylvania, the white man ain't gonna give you no chance. I was told this by family. They ain't gonna give you no chance. And I'm like, I'm not waiting for nobody to make me a chance. I'm gonna go take it. And I did. Don't listen to people who aren't willing to go where you're willing to go. Right? Don't listen to people who aren't willing to go where you're willing to go. If you know you're willing to put yourself out there and fight for it and go for it, keep going. Because those same people, and literally that's my story, those same people are like, wow, you're doing so great. When I was told, hey, you shouldn't do this, you should have stayed, because I live in Pennsylvania, so you should have stayed up in the city. That's what people look like you. That's where you're going to succeed. No. Follow your path and stick to it. And then if I wasn't doing this, what I would be doing, probably coaching basketball full time. I love the game. So
okay, yeah,
coaching ball, and just trying to have an impact on the youth. Even when I was working in the retail banking space, YMCA, Boys and Girls Clubs, I did a lot of programs of basketball out here, because I feel like you seen the movie Coming to America,
of course.
And he's like, I believe children are the future.
Yeah,
they are, and they really are. And I think that, in particular with masculine leadership, more of it is needed for them, right? So I keep that in mind as a mortgage officer now. I'm a Black mortgage officer that is male and mostly white area. So the positive influence I can have, because I also play basketball and I understand where people come from, is huge. And I like to be mindful of that. And I think Where we're failing as a society is that a lot of the working class adults, not elderly, but working class adults who can be seen by the young people, we're not stewards of that example. But many times we're serving the damage in us. Like we're serving the lack that we had in our childhood versus understanding, oh, I gotta be an example for this young man or this young woman on how I carry myself and how I behave around them, because that's going to give them a blueprint of how they're supposed to walk forward. So yeah, probably coaching, basketball, mentoring, things like that. Something I still need to get to, but I got 4 kids, so I got enough to mentor right now.
Yeah, that's a fact. So with that being said, thank you once again for being my guest. I appreciate it. We got to do this again. We got to.
Yeah, bro. Listen, after this, get my phone number and everything. We'll connect. We'll keep doing this.
Absolutely. If anybody had any questions for you, where would they be able to reach you?
Oh my goodness. Let me get my phone. Can I give you my details and you put it in the description? Oh, wait a minute. See, I'm 36, but I'm an old soul. So my Instagram name is Tonnie, so TONNIE _ Gore. Just DM me.
Gotcha.
Shoot me a message. More than happy to help.
Okay, I'll put that in. I'll put that in the comments when I do the clips and stuff like that.
Cool beans.
So once again, man, thank you. I really appreciate it. This was a lot.
It's been real.
All right, appreciate you. Take it easy, man.
Peace.
Keep it raw, uncut, sit down, talk it out, come together, we as men don't have to shoot it out.